I feel you, man. I'll whisper you later. Yeah, you will, Shadow. Yeah, you will. That came out so wrong, but I love it. Well, guys and gals, friends and pals, we're gonna get started on this amazing subject of positivity and being real. Obviously, first, I want to thank all of you for coming out here, for having a fun conversation, literally just to kind of start off everything. I love being able to hear about your guys' what you're doing, what your interests are, what's going on, and it's just I love it. I love it. I love having you all here. So thank you very much. The purpose of these talks, of these positivity talks, are really just to, one, be able to bring something positive to gaming. I really do think that not only just Twitch, but the gaming community in general can use something like this. Or even if it's not a gamer, even if it's a person that you know, if it's you, if it's really any individual, if I can make one person's life better simply by having these talks, then I feel like I've accomplished that goal. And being able to provide a perspective that maybe not a lot of people have right now. And so if you're either watching this right now live or on the highlight reels for Twitch, or if you're watching it through YouTube, you can come and hang out with all of us that I've been mentioning here kind of in the beginning, to be able to have these different conversations, to be able to hang out at my Twitch. Camo!
Just noticed my sub ran out.
Oh, well, Camo, well, welcome back, buddy. Thank you so much. That's too much. That's 2 months. Dude, you're freaking awesome, man. Thank you so much for that. Guys, Camo is the true Pan. And Pan, as you know, Peter Pan is a hero, just like you, buddy. You're helping out kids because 100% of those proceeds goes to Extra Life and kids in need, my man. Thank you so much for that. Like, I really do appreciate that, brother. Believe it or not, guys, just as a heads up, I know we kind of, just to derail for a second. So, Camo, with that sub, this is the first time that we just reached. We are right now at 19 subs. We're at 19 total, which is stinking awesome, guys. Like, that's really amazing. I never would have thought that would have happened. Honestly, whenever I first started, I kind of thought that maybe I'd get like 1 or 2.
$5 for the kids and a letter to Santa to get a Switch for you. You're incredible, Rube. And Keiko and I are so
Here's
grateful to know
$5 for the
you.
kids. And a letter to Santa to get a Switch for you. You're incredible, Ralph. And Keiko and I are so grateful to know you.
The double! Guys, we got a donation. Thank you so much, BC! Oh my gosh, guys. A sub and a donation. Holy crap. Dude, I love it. Oh, man. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. Can we get, just put in some hype in chat? Like, just, all the hypes. All the hypes. Everything. I love it. I freaking love you guys. Gaster Two Souls, thank you for the follow. Welcome, homie. Just do it, Hunter. But thank you guys. Thank you so much. All the hypes. But yeah, so where you guys can find me on here, I will be streaming on YouTube, and normally these positivity talks happen on Tuesdays. They start at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and normally they cover a wide variety of things. We've done, I think it's like over a half a dozen already. And we're gonna keep going until Extra Life Game Day, and then we'll probably have just some more fun stuff that I might be thinking about doing for the channel as well. So, but for right now, I definitely want to cover as many topics as possible. And so today's topic is, BC, that's an awesome octopus. That's my hype. I love it. Sasbobo. So the topic for today is being real, right? So I address this topic just about every time that I talk about positivity, but I did feel that it needed to be addressed so it's like its own individual discussion, right? So whenever I normally talk about it, I talk about like you guys are, depending on where you're at in your life, positivity may not seem like a great thing to have at the time, or it may seem like something that's foreign, and you may be like, I don't want this stinking positivity. And like being real mainly because for these discussions, I want to bring a philosophy based on choice, right? So like you are entitled to be able to have your own opinions, your own feelings, whatever you're feeling right now, that's your choice, right? And sometimes it's not even a choice, it's just something that just happens, right? It's an emotion, it's something that comes out of you. And I feel like a lot of times people maybe will come in and look at this and be like, well, I have to choose positivity, right? Like, and so, either because like I heard it like this or people keep on telling me this, and like, I want to bring a philosophy based like rooted in positivity, but it's a philosophy based on choice, right? And I'll always fight for the side whenever you get to choose positivity, whenever it's available. And I will always take the point of you guys should choose to do that as well. But again, we're going to have a discussion to kind of look at this. It's mainly going to be kind of in just like two different parts and really on like a lot of people, whenever they look at positivity and being real, right? A lot of them look at it as those two have to be mutually exclusive, right? Well, this guy isn't being real for anything. He's just being, happy-go-lucky guy, right? I have this going on. There's no way that he could possibly realize my situation. Like, being positive is being annoying, right? So, one of the things that kind of stinks is there's not like this trend. There's this mentality that a lot of doctors and honestly a lot of people have. Honestly, it's mainly revolving in from what I have read, right? From what I've read, it's mainly revolving around whenever people get diagnosed with cancer. And I think that comes mainly from my background because I've had a lot of family members that have been diagnosed with that. I've had a lot of friends that have been dealing with that. And whenever we look at different blogs and everything, a lot of people just say, hey, by the way, I'm tired of hearing people say, just remain positive, it'll all go away, right? And so there's this quote that's called the tyranny of positive thinking, right? It's basically an unrealistic negative pressure put on like people with cancer or illness sufferers by those around them to think positively all the time. They feel like they are encaged, right? Like they are forced that like they have to be positive. Like the idea being that it's realistic to feel a range of different emotions when faced with a chronic or life-threatening illness, but in reality they're feeling pressure to take positive attitudes will only add to a sufferer's burden, right? So that's what that tyranny of positive thinking is. Like I want everybody to know that you are entitled, right? You are entitled whenever something like that happens, that is a life-altering thing, or even if it's not a life-altering thing, you are entitled, right, to have a wide range of emotions. And it's important that you do. It really is. I mean, if I could sit here and say that I'm 100% positive all the time, that's ridiculous. That is stupid, okay? I'm sorry, like, I ooze positivity because that's my firm belief as a human being, but there are definitely times where I am not that way. And I think that's good. I think that's healthy because... And I'll talk about some of like the reasons why, but you need to have those. Like you need to have that in this life. Like nobody should impose what you should think or feel. Nobody should impose that on you. That is your right as a human being. That's your right to be able to go through that. And whenever you come out of that, whenever you can look back, you're going to be able to learn from that. And for someone to take away that learning is... If it's wisdom, you should adhere to it and you should think about it and you should do something about it. But if they're like trying to take that stuff away, I can see that in like a parent mentality. But if it's like something to where someone has this huge debilitating disease, like when I'm using cancer as an example throughout this talk. So first off, I want to say that anybody who's going through that or who has family members that are going through that, my thoughts and prayers are with you. Would love to talk to you about that at any time because that is a hard thing to do. That is a hard thing to deal with. That is not easy to go through life with that. So, but yeah, nobody should impose what you should think or feel, right? Taking a positive attitude about it though is a choice for you to make when the time is right for you. It's a choice you can make when you are ready to take responsibility for making the best of your situation. What's going on, Hammer Tank? How are you? So true with the apologies to people with mental illness a lot too. Yeah, that does apply, right? Because people with mental illnesses, that's a great example, BC, is whenever we're talking about, like, as far as for positivity and being real, like, if you're sitting here telling people, like, with like a mental illness, like, but kind feeling weird, Hammer Tank. So to give you a little update, on Tuesdays we do a little positivity talk and then we play some games. So happy to have you. Just wanted to update you on what we're doing. If there's no sadness, happy wouldn't be a difference. That's true, Pug. You got to have yin and yang, right? Yeah, my dad has cancer. I'm sorry to hear that, Camo. I know that. I have thought about you, man, and I have prayed for your family quite a bit. Spiky, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. So whenever you're going through this, like, whenever you're going through these things, you need to have that, right? Like, whenever you're ready to take responsibility for making the best of your situation, that's when you can have that choice of being positive. But like, is it okay to open myself here and tell what I feel since I'm anonymous? Hammer, I'm going to go and address that real quick. What I would say is feel free to, but do not. One thing that I always say to everybody, and it's more for like a protection of you. I don't mind what you tell me, and I'm always open to be able to talk with you. But I do not want you to somehow expose something that might be hurtful or harmful to you, or someone can take advantage of that, because just like you are coming in here wanting to talk and have a conversation, someone might be coming in here to troll and then make something bad about it. So just feel free to, but realize that it comes with a little bit of responsibility. I'll do my best, but I always want to preface that because I want to protect everybody that's in my stream, to be able to have the best community that I can, because it's ultimately I'm responsible for all of you, and I take that responsibility seriously. So, but feel free to, man, while we're talking. But so whenever you're ready to take responsibility, right? It is so very important to be real. We will all experience a variety of negative emotions such as grief, loss, anger, frustration, hopelessness, and fear as a result of either our illness or our loved one's illness, right? Like, those things are going to happen. I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, you should just be positive because it's okay though because I have the hammer. Yes, I have plenty of mods that are very, very, very good at being able to say, like, if someone comes in and if someone comes in and tries to be able to hurt you or hurts this community, trust me, my mods are quick, fast, and to the point. But since I'm anonymous, I can feel say it. Yeah. But I'm shy for saying it since I'm anonymous. We'll feel free, Hammer, but for being bad to dedicate. So whenever you're going through those things, right, I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, by the way that you're going to get over a family member being diagnosed, or like I'm sitting here thinking about whenever I'm sitting here thinking about like whenever one of my loved ones died because of cancer, right? I have that right to be able to be angry about it. I have that right to be honestly a little just open about it. I have that right to be sad about it. I have all of those things, right? But moving on from that, being able to build resilience, being able to look back and know how to help others go through something like what I did, that is the choice that I'm arguing that you can have that afterwards. So I mean, it's nobody should take that away from you, right? And it's very important to be real, to be able to be open about those things. Being able to take a positive attitude, it involves an understanding that our feelings are fluid by nature, right? They come and they go, they weave in and out. It's seasons of life, and it's going to happen. However, our thinking can have a strong influence over our feelings. For example, when our minds decide, right, that we shouldn't feel a particular way, that feeling gets stuck, right? Like that feeling gets stuck. Like if we're like, we shouldn't be sad, we should be positive, and you won't allow yourself to be sad and to grieve. Beneferike, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for the follow. Whenever we do that, we're basically keeping ourselves from moving on and from being able to have this natural process of being able to get things out, and that's not healthy. That's not being positive. That's actually putting yourself at a more negative place, because you're basically keeping yourself from being able to do what you need to do. So our thinking can also exaggerate our experience of negative emotions. For example, like when we worry that we will always feel this way, or when we go over and over a past event in our minds, like something that negative just happened just keeps going and going and going, and like, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't be this way. However, if we compassionately accept our feelings and allow ourselves to be real in the moment without thoughts of the past or future, our feelings will flow and change. Like, think about that again, okay? I'm going to repeat that. If we compassionately accept our feelings and allow ourselves to be real in the moment without thoughts of the past or the future, our feelings will flow and change. You'll be able to come out and you'll be able to make that happen. So like that's important. It's important to be able to live through that ebb and flow. My kids that I think have some strong anxiety that made me cut my social ties. Like and please don't make fun of me. Like when I go outside, I feel the need to use the bathroom every few hours. It made me cut school and going out like I've been shut in because of it. Gets up. I'm sorry, it gets up. Well, yeah. Oh, you're good, Gaster. And the trouble now is that I will have to travel soon. I'm so afraid to make it affect me there. I don't know what to do. Well, Hammer, I wish. I'll be honest. I can't empathize with you on that, and I don't. I wish that I had an answer for you. I really do. I don't. I don't think that's an easy situation that you have. I think, are you traveling with loved ones? Are you traveling with friends and with family that love you and you can talk to be able to accept you with what's going on? Because I think one of the things that helps out, that I'm actually going to get into here in a second, is we're built for community, and I'll say that here in a second. So, literally, you're almost kind of running through this. So I'm reminded. So, guys, whenever I talk about this, I'm reminded. So, if any of you have ever seen Stuart Scott's speech at the ESPYs, so Stuart Scott, he's a big famous, famous announcer that was on ESPN for years. He got diagnosed with cancer, and his speech at the ESPYs was amazing. It was amazing. The man brought it. I will give him full amounts of credit. When he talked about his battle and the way that he views it, right? His words won't ever leave me. But his saying was, he had a couple big things that I kind of pulled out from his speech that I wanted to share with you. So it's, when you die, it does not mean that you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live. This whole fight, this journey thing, this life thing, it's not a solo venture. This is something that requires support. Okay? That is a statement. That's someone who's going through there and looking at it and being like, hey, you know what? I'm sure that he had times where he was angry. He was probably really sad. I can't even begin to describe probably all of his emotions that he went through. But whenever he, again, had that time to be able to go through and accept what was happening and take responsibility and compassionately go through his emotions, he chose to, again, when you die, it does not mean that you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live. This whole fight, this life thing, it is not a solo venture. This is something that requires support. And so, Hammer, that's why I'm saying, whenever it talks about you being with your family, going through these things that happen in our lives, we're meant for support. We are meant for community. We are built for it. And we have to have that. We have to. There is no way that in any way, shape, or form we would ever be able to make it, we would ever be able to be happy if we didn't have other people. It's not possible. Some people say, well, I like to be hermited up, or I like to be alone. Those people are going to go crazy. They may prefer that, but they still need it. Like that is something to where people are built for it. So whenever you're looking at that, I would recommend working through that. And honestly, I think one of the things that, kind of like what we also talked about earlier, is whenever we're stuck in that mindset, right, Hammer, is a lot of times we're giving it that undue power. One, name it to tame it, right? Talk to your family about it. Talk to friends. Let them know what's kind of going on. And a lot of the times people want to help. People that you surround yourself with are going to want to love you, especially your family. Your family is going to be able to look at that and know what to do with you and go through this with you. Because that whole old saying of it takes a village, it's 100% true. 100% true. So like it's so like being able to do that is something that's huge. Yeah, I can tell you for a fact most of us here are not judgmental towards. Yeah, for sure, Katie. Keiko, thank you for that, by the way, Keiko. So thank you. Yeah, I saw you cut marks on his upper arms. I don't know what that is, Gaster. I'm addressing insecurity about health issues. Haven't experienced the exact issue, like I said, but I've been in the same mental state of anxiety around people. Yeah, Katie, for sure. I mean, a lot of people have that, right? Not everybody's like an extrovert. A lot of people are introverts. So I know it's for sure it's anxiety. It happens, man. Like anxiety happens, and I think being able to look at that and I like, for one, I'm gonna go and tell you this. I am not a psychiatrist. I'm not someone who's gonna be able to diagnose and be able to go through it. But the best that I can offer you is one, if you surround yourself with people who genuinely love you and care about you, they're gonna be able to make things better and to be able to go through this with you, right? But they sometimes make me feel like I embarrass them. Hammer, I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough, right? Because whenever you look at that, that's a tough thing to have happen. Now, I think that sometimes I'm not saying that this is the case, right? But one thing to think about is just address it with them, talk to them, being real with people. Again, this is what this talk is about, right? Being real with them and telling them those things and telling them your feelings is okay. They're your family. They're going to accept that, and they need to know those things, right? Have battles either through disease, friendships, depression, self-pain. You will win in the end. We all win in the end. See, guys, so that's a great approach to have. I know that, like, that's the positivity that I'm talking about. You need to have that. So one thing that I want to bring up, guys. So I'm going to show you some pictures right here. So there is a thing called kintsugi or kintsukuroi. And I apologize if any of you know this style of art. There is pottery that is done by this place called Lakeside. The beauty in it is that it's all broken. So you see these things right here? Okay, right here? These guys? This is all pottery that is done by broken pieces. It's beautiful. It's magnificent. It's reflective of life. Because what are the beautiful pieces in there? What makes this art right here? Candace C26, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. What makes this art beautiful is the imperfections that are in there. It's the gold that's in there. The gold doesn't happen if we don't get broken. If it doesn't get broken. If there's not these things that keep it apart. It doesn't become this amazing thing that people desire that has become like a worldwide phenomenon right now. It doesn't do any of that without having these flaws. The reason why it's so big is because it's reflective on life. And that's what people look at. It's tough. Life is hard. Life is so hard. It is. But the great thing about it is life is hard and life is beautiful. It's beautiful in the imperfections, in the cracks that are filled with gold. Those are the moments that make us unique. It can be hard for people who don't suffer from anxiety. Really understand where you're going through. I think you use BC as I just calm down, man. Then I had an anxiety attack. I understand you can't control it. Thank you. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Anxiety is not an easy thing. It's not. So, like, I'm going to leave these up here just for a second while they're going on. Be thinking about this whenever those things go on. Because whenever you guys think about some of our flaws, some of our negative things that happen, that right there, okay, rip right over there. Over there. Be thinking about that because that right there is the beautifulness that's in your life. Which one of these are you? Right? I like to think that I'm hold on, I'll show you which one. It's like the blue one that's right here. It should be coming. I'm definitely not this one. I don't have the body shape to be able to pull this one off, right? AJ Biking, thank you for the follow. And it's not this guy. It's the one that's like blue that has like these golden cracks in it, but it also has a ton of other cracks that are in it. Because right here, this guy, right here, that one. So I can tell you, like with all those different cracks in there, because I made a butt ton of mistakes whenever I was younger, a butt ton, and that's what made me who I am today. And I can look back and choose positivity, just like all of you can. We can influence our feelings to be more positive, but not denying what's real for us, right? Instead, we can train ourselves to think about life in a different way. We can teach ourselves to have different expectations that are more conducive to experiencing pleasure. We can invite healing by giving our body a clear message about what we want from it. Like this message, everything that I'm talking about, to your mind and to your body about these things that are going on, like you are making a choice to be happy, healthy, love life. It's a reminder to take control over your thoughts and to use them to optimize your happiness and health. It's not meant to be a denial of what's real to you at all. Like, guys, positivity and being realistic are not mutually exclusive. Like, on the complete contrary, like they work hand in hand. They work hand in hand. Like right into another. Whenever life comes in and hits you with all it's got, sometimes you need to weep, endure, persevere. But by doing this, you'll gain resiliency, you'll be steadfast, you'll come out stronger by allowing yourself to work through whatever it is that happened. And you're going to be better on the other side of it because of it. You're going to be appreciative. You're going to be this bowl right here. You're going to be this cup. You're going to be that. You're going to have these beautiful things that have come out of that, but it wouldn't have happened unless you would have been broken. Guys, like, to kind of sum up everything, just be real with one another. Be real with the people who you're around. Whenever it's your choice to be able to be positive, I hope that you choose that. Continue to love one another. Continue to be positive in the face of adversity, and continue to be the awesome people that you are. After all, you're the only one like you, and you guys are amazing. You guys are the reason why I do this and the reason why I get so... Oh, you shut the front door.